It'll work. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for joining us in the Logistics Lounge. Today, we have another wonderful, stupendous episode lined up for y'all. We got Mr. Applegate here from ImportYeti going to tell us everything there is to know about Yetis in the wild. No, I'm just joking. It has to do with logistics. We're also going to talk about some more stuff happening with Yellow. So sit back, buckle up, pop a top, enjoy the lounge. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, Pedro?
Shit, sitting here chilling like a villain, doing a Bob Dylan killing. How about yourself?
I heard that. Well, this is day 3. We're combating the truck flu day by day. I've eaten a lot of spicy Mexican food and some chicken noodle soup. Had some beers along the way just to really kick them taste buds back in. And yeah, man, we're rocking and rolling. Still in the aftermath of Matt's and everything. But yeah, dude, just another day in paradise. Got some good things in the works, and happy to be back getting in the flow of things. I've missed the lounge. It's like a drug. I need to be here.
I agree, bro. I agree. I missed it. I missed it too, man. It was awesome to be doing all the stuff that we did last week, man. You know, me starting Wednesday and going up there and seeing that demonstration by Hammer and doing all that mad stuff. But I'm with you, brother. It's always nice to be back at the house and get back in the lounge and enjoy each other and enjoy our homies out there watching. Everybody who tunes in every day and throws us some
What's
love.
up, Josh?
We appreciate it.
That's the lounge security guard right there.
I wouldn't have, dude. I still my first interaction with Josh was that night we did that like 7-hour show. And
he's real, dude. He's a homie. He is a homie. He's down with the lounge.
What's his name? What's his name popped in and started talking about buying fucking viewers and shit. And Josh,
we don't talk about that.
Josh was just like, "Hold up, killer! You're out. We are pulling your armband out. You are out. No more drinks for you. There is
everything you're saying offends me.
Yeah, in the champagne room for you, sir." Oh man, dude, I'm with you. I don't know. I'm still a little congested too, dude. I think most of my stuff though was more
a little foggy. It's a little foggy.
Just being up there, man. I mean, it's different allergens in every part of the country. You know what I'm saying? So besides that, my only problem is I'm still getting adjusted to even being back at work, dude. Like I don't know why. I guess because like my Monday was sucked up dealing with my bag getting lost and shit, and then like I stayed up for so long. So Tuesday felt like my Monday. Like I'm a day behind. And I'm still not fucking caught up with the stuff.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. Especially after yesterday talking to Dean, I was like, damn, we probably got like a combined 6 hours of sleep that entire weekend. So
I know,
Saturday's
man.
gonna be a
dude. I know that's freaking right, man. I'm gonna whenever we shut down tomorrow night, I'm gonna fucking crash out so hard, dude.
Dude, I might take a nap on camera tomorrow. First live nap on the lounge.
Dude, and you can do it like the people do on TikTok, where people can send us donations and they're like,
dude, we'll do a case study, man. I will pass out for 20 minutes, like Dean said. So I'm not in that deep sleep yet. But I'll get my little nightcap and my candle, and I'll just take a nap real quick and let you know how I feel.
Dude, hey, I'm glad you brought up Dean. How fucking awesome was Dean?
Dean was awesome. I hope to have him back on with Miles. We talked to Miles. We're gonna have an Australian showdown. It's gonna be great.
It was
so if anybody out there can translate true Australian, let us know. We're gonna need it. Dude, subtitles will not even show.
I like how they both said, and obviously they weren't didn't know the other said it, but yesterday Dean was like, "I speak the King's English" or whatever.
Oh and yeah, we speak the Queen's English, mate.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my gosh, man. But anyway, it was great to see him not being all analytical and everything that everyone knows he is, man. And did you see that picture of his fucking truck that he sent us?
Yeah, dude, I know for a fact we saw that truck.
Dude,
I
that
know
thing
for a
is
fact we saw that truck. I think that's like one of the first ones I pointed out. I was like, look at that black beauty.
that thing. I know that's right.
The lizard rag is a real thing.
I know, dude. I almost lost it right there, Adam. I know you're fucking right, bro. That stuff
Yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, Dean is super cool, man. We actually had a meeting here at work today, man, and I'll say I used some of what Dean had told us last night, about like predictions and projections and the deep dive into the actual macroeconomics and shit, dude. So I actually got to sound really smart at work today, thanks to you, Dean. So I really appreciate that. That was good stuff. All right. Before we move this little dilly along, we're going to go ahead and give some love to our wonderful sponsor. Been with us pretty much since day one, Clint Weston and his team over there at Shoreline. Y'all got invoices you need factored. You need to get that money right now. Can't wait for those net terms. You need to head yourself on over to Shoreline Capital. Use that code scrolling at the bottom of your screen and get yourself the hookup on that first invoice. Their video, making them a new video, is number 3 on my list of things to do for the lounge. The first one is the fucking video for tomorrow, and then the second one is setting up the rest of the trucks and shit, the content for Matt's, and then third is making Shoreline a new video.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good plan, buddy.
I have to make lists, dude. I have sticky notes for like digital sticky notes for everything, man. I have lists that I break everything down and what I want to do and shit. Even my calendar. I'm a calendar fanatic, man. Like I schedule everything. Like when I want to call someone, I put it in there. Do anything, whatever it is, I fucking put it in my calendar. I would die without a schedule, man. It drives me crazy. Hunter, you ready to do some news and then bring our guest on, man?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. We're going to touch on some developing news with Yellow. I know everyone a lot of people may be burnt out over this. I know it was killed in the beginning, but it piques my interest because I know, and I think a lot of others know, that this is something that's going to go on for a long time. A lot of things were involved. A lot of money was involved. And so, things are just going to keep coming up. And this is one of those things that's came up. All right. For those of you who didn't know, I did not know. Hunter said he did not know, but Yellow apparently had filed a $137 million lawsuit against the Teamsters. A federal lawsuit filed by Yellow against the Teamsters that was placed in Kansas was dismissed Tuesday. The lawsuit for, as you can see, $137 million was for breach of contract against the Teamsters negotiating arm. The dismissal reason was that Yellow failed to exhaust the grievance process. In the suit, Yellow had alleged that the Teamsters had breached the collective bargaining agreement by not approving a second phase of operational changes and by trying to tie the approval of any change to operations and wage increases. Yellow told the Teamsters last year that a second round of changes would be coming that would include things like restructuring employees and terminal closures, and that those things were imperative to the company's survival. The claim, furthermore, in the suit says that the Teamsters did not have authority to not accept the changes. And since it didn't accept those changes that Yellow wanted to put through, that instance is what ultimately started the collapse of Yellow. Now, the Teamsters came back and had said, in the suit before it was dismissed, that they had already accepted another deal in the initial round of negotiations. And they said that the employees it represented at the company, which is Yellow, had already given billions in wage, benefits, and pension concessions in prior years, and that it wasn't going to go along with anything further to help them with a bailout. Yellow, after the dismissal, they had said a lot of other stuff. A lot of, I wouldn't say choice words, but several other things. But this thing is what I like to pick out of it. They had said that, in their opinion, the grievance process is futile, that even if they had fully exhausted it, like the federal court says that they failed to do, that they didn't expect the Teamsters to participate in anything anyway, and it didn't think it would get a final and binding decision that would be ruled in their favor. There's more stuff in this article. I don't want to give it all away. As y'all can see, it's from FreightWaves. Y'all go to FreightWaves, look it up. Read the rest of the intricacies and the information that is in there, and derive your own opinion, or just take it for what it is. So, just want to keep following up on this stuff. Every time I see something about Yellow pop up, it just kind of makes me want to read it and see how much further this thing goes. Maybe in some hope somewhere, some of these people that were at Yellow could be made whole somehow, or something could swing in their way. And this right here is I guess you could say, one of them. Even though Teamsters probably wouldn't have taken this from the people that they represented at Yellow, it still would have an effect on other people, because who likes to give up $137 million if you ain't got to? Hunter, you got anything you want to say on this, man?
I can't wait to hear what our buddy Matt Leffler has to say about this.
Dude, I should post this on LinkedIn and tag Matt in it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, he's gonna go crazy over it.
Yeah,
but
I love hearing Matt talk.
It is nuts though. It is nuts though. I don't know. This Yellow thing, like you said, it's continuing to develop in such an interesting way. They go under, they completely liquidate all their assets, and then out of the blue, they just somehow come up with a few $100 million to pay off all their debts. And it's all good now.
I know. Man.
My prediction is Yellow is going to come back in some facet, if they're not already back, just not under Yellow. So
let's use Convoy and Flexport as an example there. Hey,
yeah. We'll never get a straight answer out of that.
No, but I'm just saying, look, big, huge company goes out of business, man. You know what I mean? And then a few months later, they, magically reappear. You know what I'm saying?
Well, as they say, it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck. Probably a duck.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Hell yeah. All right, we're going. Sorry, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, with the news being done here, thank all of y'all for tuning in. I'm kind of I don't know. I love what this guy that we're about to have on has done. Pre-show, we've definitely discovered some more things. But without further ado, y'all, Dave Applegate.
That is the best intro I have ever seen. Is that courtesy of AI, or where did you guys find that thing?
Dude, I've been working on that for about a year now. We haven't even had the show a year, but I was like, I know for a fact on March 28th, this guy's going to be on the show. So it's been a work in progress.
Is this like entire show a farce to like get me on? You're planning up for just this one moment.
And little do you know, the show is the last one today. So thanks for being here.
I appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for being here. How's your week been, brother? How's your day going?
It's going good. It's nice and sunny out here in Southern California, which I need to stop talking about the weather in Southern California, because I feel like I'm that rich kid that's like, daddy bought me a Mercedes. It's my first car instead of a Rolls Royce. But can't complain. Just a normal week so far. Just living the grind.
Love it. Well, once again, man, thank you for being here. And for all the people that don't know you, who is Dave, and how'd you get to where you are now, brother?
Yeah, so I been an entrepreneur my whole life. I was running a company with my partner Nate Morgan at called Wrestling Mart, and we were the world's largest high school / collegiate wrestling store. And we had some supply chain problems. If you want to find someone to import, coffee mugs. Like a lot of people do things like this, but as you get into harder supply chain questions, we didn't know how to solve them. And kind of when the pandemic hit, you can imagine wrestling is not the space you want to be in. It's like selling heroin. The government didn't let you do it. And we kind of, I took some of the time we had in our hands and I created a tool called ImportYeti that helps people like visualize supply chains and get, transparency into the way different companies move sea freight. And it's just kind of taken off like wildfire. And so you can, pretty much type in any company on ImportYeti.com and then see, what countries they import from, how much they move, what they're moving, who their suppliers are, what carriers they're using, all the details associated with that. And that's led me to kind of, where I'm sitting today.
That's awesome. That is crazy. I'd never even thought about that because I was looking at your resume here, and I saw that Wrestling Mart's been almost 11 years now. You've been running that.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's crazy. You blink and it's like a decade goes by. It's
100%. Yeah, no, that's crazy though, man. I didn't even think about that. Like, during COVID times, like you said, wrestling is not the thing to be in at that point. But
it was nuts. Like sales dropped 75% in like a day. So it's like, imagine you wake up one day and you're like working, and then like the next day it's just like, what am I doing? And that's just a hard reality to look at. COVID was like, out of all my friends that had businesses, COVID was just the best thing for them. Their e-com stores just through the roof. Everyone's buying shit online. I was the only one that went down. But it is what it is, and there's mixed blessings and everything. You just gotta look at the world in front of you, try to be living in reality, and then say, hey, given the state of things, what do I do?
Yeah, and, absolutely.
Can't whine about things that you can't change.
So with ImportYeti, like you were talking about, the supply chain was just kind of a pain to deal with, and I've been using it for a while. Rob just got signed up with it. I actually found out about it through a couple of my buddies because I'm a big drayage guy, and I started getting into the international side, and we used what's that, Trademo, and all these other sites, and it's expensive, man. They're like, dude, what are you doing? Get on the ImportYeti, hit that cool company tab, and it's sick. Like, I'm surprised people don't know about it more. So like, did you build that like from the ground up yourself, man? Like, is this all Dave?
I mean, at the beginning, that's the truth, but it started to take off. Like one of the things that's hard is you go to build things, like you don't really know what it's going to become, right. And so you start it out and you just like one step, and then you show it to some people, and they're kind of like, hey, this is kind of cool, but this part really sucks. And with ImportYeti, I started it, and one of the first people that like really jumped on were people that were selling dray and freight forwarding. And then like LTL as well. And they just were like, hey man, like I really like what the directions is heading, but this part's just atrocious. I can't believe you make something so bad. And the fact they were interacting with me and kept on telling me these things though made a big difference. So I could just kind of keep listening to them. And then we just 1 or 2% better a day. And it made a world difference, and now probably our biggest users are in the logistics space, people that anybody that's moving goods, whether you're like a third party warehouse or, less loader provider or, drayage or customs brokerage, like you name it, like ImportYeti could really say like, hey, who's moving these products, from here to here.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that too. And, especially being able to see the house BOL and all like, the house bill, and like, it's cool. It
feels like you're cheating almost a little bit, just having all the information there. I feel you.
I'm going to share this just so people can see what we're talking about. So here's the site, and this is the best button in the world. Super company, random company, whatever you want. So we got DDAC right here. Tells you all the
scroll down exactly what they're doing, how much freight they're moving, who their suppliers are, where they're importing stuff from.
Yeah, and I love how this data is up to date too, and you have plot events, COVID lockdowns, boom, shows you right when that happened. So shows the dates, Trump's tariffs, boom. You can go monthly, day by day. But this is one of the coolest parts though, showing exactly where it moved from, what the HS codes are, what the product is, and then you come down here, shows you all these different areas. Well, you click on this. And then it shows you how much of that type of product has moved in that month. It's sweet, man. That's sweet. So how did this start off? Like, what did this look like from the get-go? Like, what was like day one at Import Yeti?
Yeah, at first it was just a company name, and it was a vendor table. So it was like just that, and then the time series graph, and then it just kind of like slowly expanded from there. The thing that was so rough on day one is, like, I'm sure you guys know, as you fill out bill of ladings, like nobody really cares they put on those things. It's just like you fill them out. And so that sucked the most about it is you type in a word and it would just give you nonsense. So we had to spend a ton of time being like, how the hell do we resolve, company names? Like, two of my favorite Import Yeti stories are, there's like this company called Apple BV, which stands for Apple Beverage, right? And there's, of course, Apple Computers. And they've shared like 6 warehouses over time. And so people would type in Apple, the computer, and because we thought they were the same company, it would say their number one import was Heineken. And everybody thought Apple was just like raging alcoholics, consuming like 1,000 kegs of Apple a day, or of Heineken a day. And then Walmart too, they misclassified some of their HS codes on the bill of ladings, and HS codes have changed definitions over time. And so it said Walmart's number one import was nuclear reactors. And everyone's like, dude, are they trying to, run the country or, start a world war or something like that? But yeah, it's just been kind of trying to get it a little bit better every day. And the data cleanliness is honestly what's made the biggest difference. It doesn't look like that when you're looking at it because you do it well, but like making it so that when you do look at a page, like, oh, this seems like it makes sense, takes a lot more magic than I think sometimes I lead on.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one thing I have appreciated. Like, you go and, click on a contact information. It's like, well, before you do that, give me a little feedback. So, dude, I'm always giving feedback, but I love it though, because like, following you on LinkedIn and everything, like you get the updates, like when it happens, update 70, update 50, like it's cool, man. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, this is incredible, man. Like showing the trade routes, and this isn't just for people in the maritime industry or freight forwarding or drayage, whatever. Like you talked about, man, people from LTL to warehousing can use this. Like just this little fact right here, you can see, and I love this. Like I didn't even notice you had put this in the legend. This is the company. This is the company's suppliers, and this is the other companies using the suppliers. Like you can run 1,000,000 miles with this.
We're working right now on that kind of graph that you're looking at right there, where we're going to make it so that when you look at the US, you can see what their warehouses look like in the US and what ports they're moving from. So like, hey, they've got a bunch of things inside, they're primarily moving the Port of Los Angeles. And then, they're taking things to their warehouse, in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's just right next to the port. And you can start to like measure like dray potential versus like, or whether they're likely using rail or kind of, the different way as they move freight domestically, which we're super excited for.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're gonna have like Google Street View of the warehouses and everything.
Almost to that level. You want to like zoom and tear it apart, and then you'll be like, hey, they moved this many sea shipments in this warehouse and in this city. Nice. And they from the Port of Los Angeles. We suspect it was likely via truck.
That's awesome, man. The granular side of it, because even some of those other companies I was talking about that do the same thing and they charge an arm and a leg for it. Like it's the same, but like it's just literally like, all right, we're gonna give you the consignee, the whoever's buying the product and what, and then it's a guessing game at that point. Like who am I really supposed to be dealing with here? Like it's a lot to deal with, but yeah, I like this.
Another excuse me if you touched on this, Dave, man. I'm over here trying to finish booking a few loads, man. My day is just ending, so I'm half listening. That's what I tell my wife. She's like, "Did you hear me?" I said, "I heard half of what you say. I'm half listening." Anyway, I think this, obviously is something incredible for, more than just drayage people and, brokers, warehouse people, but especially for other shippers and manufacturers. This would be a tool for, someone in the same type of space as another company that they know about that's, you know, maybe try to be competitive in who their supplier is and what routes they use and steamships and stuff, you know, get on here, sign up for this, and are able to see all that information, man. So, you know, you're doing a really big service, I think, to a lot more touching points or to a lot more parts in the industry than what it has at face value, man. And I 100%, I just started using it, man. I actually looked up several of my customers, and like one of them, I know that she gets her stuff from overseas. I know exactly where it comes from and everything. And I used your site, and I was like, man, it's like, I wonder how accurate his information is. And everything that I know about her pulling her stuff from overseas was exactly what you had on your thing. So I say that to make the point that, you know, the information on here isn't just, you know, it's not bad. It's good. It's all up to date. It's correct. And so, you know, I applaud you, because I can imagine the API and the various integrations and stuff with your platform that you have to have with other platforms to, you know, suck in all this information, compute it, and then put it out on your stuff. So I don't know. I'm saying all this because it seems easy at the face of it, but this shit is really complex.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I'm definitely want to get into is the data integration. But
far
Steven, I'm before I let Dave go on this, finding export data, if you can find it, let me know, because it's, I don't know. The only thing I've been able to find is import data, but usually you can, I don't know, you can backtrack it a little bit.
We're launching export data on the platform, I think it's either next week or the week after. So it's
Are you really?
Like right there. Yeah.
You heard it here. Heard it here first.
What's that?
I said you heard it.
Shut up, Rob. He's trying to announce a new thing.
I know, right?
No. I mean, we'll put it on the website, so you'll see it plastered everywhere, I'm sure. We have Mexico imports and exports too, and with Mexico's, they've got land, sea, air, and rail. And so you can see like really what's being moved. They're not on like kind of the public site yet, so you just have to send me an email, go on the contact us thing, and we'll let you guys have access to it. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Pedro. You're like, I feel like you guys are making me feel like a god, and I'm not. I'm just a regular man.
Well, dude, this is sick. Like you're giving out information and like doing a service that most would not do. Like you make this free and easy, and it's fucking, you listen to people, man, and that's what we need more of in this industry, bro. It's simple.
I agree, man. And you know, I'm lagging in a lot. I'm lagging a lot in tech, man, and utilizing a lot of like platforms and stuff like this. And I mean, I will happily admit that Hunter like has turned me on to Hunter and Ryan. Ryan, I know you're watching. You know, Ryan Van Brocklin, they've turned me on to some stuff, man. And ImportYeti is one of them. And dude, it's just, I don't know, it never ceases to amaze me the things that are out there that you don't think about, but then when you see, you're like, fuck, that makes so much sense that somebody would do this. You know what I mean? And it's cool, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like this and never heard anything like this. When Hunter was telling me about it, I was like, oh man, that sounds really cool. And he was like, dude, I use this shit all the time when I was in Dre. He's like, man, it is such great information, you know, doing prospecting and just understanding things, period. So yeah,
even someone like me that does drayage and truckload and, you know, the occasional international, it gives you something to talk about with your prospects or customers, because it's like, holy shit, you guys did 1,500 containers last month. What's up with that? Where's that going?
Yeah,
and people want to talk to you about it, and it shows you that, like, you know, instead of having to go through and make it, you know, just an assumption off of some news article about this company or like the whatever updates they give you, it's like, hey, like this is interesting. Like you guys have had a 75% uptick since last year this time, you know, like tell me about that.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that I think people fail to do is like use ImportYeti as like a sales tool and then try to create sales scripts out of it. So like as opposed to just being like, hey, do you want drayage? Be like, hey, I see that you're moving a ton of stuff into the port of Los Angeles and that you're mostly using refrigerated containers. I am the number 3 refrigerated container mover out of the port of Los Angeles. And let me tell you, with the current person you're using, I'm going to blow them out of the water, right? And trying to take what's happening on that profile page, use that so when you talk with the person, you're like, you're not just some Joe Schmo being like, do you want drayage? But like, actually, you know something about their company, you know, and you could tell them something. They're like, man, this guy obviously spent a few minutes and researched me versus just, you know, rambling on about, how they can freight rates the same.
I like that you brought that up, Dave. It is a very, very good point that not only does this give you information, on who's doing business with who, but it is a very, very good sales tool, and also not just in the sense that you say, by doing research, but like I people talk a lot about relationships, but I'm a lot about value. You know what I mean? And, what type of value do I bring to you as my customer? It doesn't always have to be I have trucks when you want it. It may just be that, we both like Koenigsegg cars. You know what I mean? And my value to you is that we're both car people. My point is that, say I'm going after a company and I see that they're shipping containers and doing this stuff, and I've got a friend that ships containers. It's a good sales tactic. We say, hey, I see you're bringing in all this stuff over here. Maybe I could also hook you up with my Dre guy. They could give you some rates, and maybe you could get some better rates on the stuff that you're bringing over here. So I'm glad that you brought up that sales tactic or using this as a sell tool, because it is, man. You have a lot of information here as well. You can read people's LinkedIn and websites, but what you got going on here, telling them where their suppliers come from and all that, I think it gives you a better scope of really what all they're doing, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite parts right here. So you can see the bill of lading. You have the house bill lading and the master bill lading. So it tells you the freight cost right here. Well, it's going from Asia to U.S. Pacific. So that's probably, Shanghai to Long Beach. It tells you their, bubble bag, support frame, shower curtain hooks. You click on free right here. Boom. It shows you the consignee. It shows you who's selling it. And it shows you the receiver. So Amazon's buying it from this person right here, and it's going straight to Amazon.
And a lot of times the 5-party and stuff is actually the freight forwarder. So you could even take it a step further and just, say, hey, I saw this person move your freight. And if they have, worse rates than you, man. That's actually good barrel.
Well, shit, even me as a drayage guy, I like to do, so I always sell drayage first, and then I'll sell truckload second. But hey, so I can do your drayage for you, but when this container's getting offloaded, where's that product going?
Yeah,
I have trucks that run in XYZ lanes, let's talk about it. And that's been some of my best bread and butter. Keep it all under one blanket. I'll give you a solid rate because you're not having to deal with 3 different parties. You're dealing with me.
Yeah.
And I know what you're doing.
Yeah. To tag on to what Pedro is saying, I think the value is the right mindset. Relationships are important, but you have to be able to help their business because that's really what they care about. And you end up specializing in that particular lane or particular type of, good that's being moved, or particular container type or whatever it is. Right. And then the question is, how do you find the people that are effectively choosing the wrong partner for that particular, type of freight they're moving?
Yeah, absolutely. So where do you get all this data from, man? I know it's public information, but I'm sure you're not sitting here plugging in every single container, every single lane.
Type all 100 million of them. It comes from Customs and Border, Homeland Security. There's kind of they will distribute it, and then we spend a lot of time trying to augment it. So you take what is base data, and you just, without getting too technical, you just spend a lot of time, cleaning it and let computers do their, what they're good at. And I'm sure you guys don't need to listen about my little lectures on algorithms. So
go on about it, man. It's interesting. This is the future.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing that kind of, has made a difference is that compute is so cheap these days. If you think of the logistics industry, honestly, freight's gotten more expensive in the past few years. Their compute and electricity just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Or at least, so it's crazy what you can do. 10 years ago, it's impossible to do this kind of stuff. I saw a comment, hey, this is snappy, which I appreciate the kind words, but computers are just so fast these days. It makes it easy.
I just like the fact that Adam used the word snappy.
That is a good word. That is a great word.
Dude, it really is Dave. I mean, I know we've complimented you a bunch. I know you get a ton of compliments, but man, like, there's a ton of informational sources out there, and I talk a lot. Well, I'm gonna say a lot. I have talked about before. I'm a big person on efficiency, and making things work for me. And technology is a hard one for me to get around sometimes. But like, I'm all about having just a few reliable sources to go to for certain things, whether it be where I source carriers from, or get rates, or source customers from, or stuff like this. Just somewhere that has a compilation of a ton of data, and I can read and understand different things about, a company that I'm trying to do business with, or like you showed those shipping lanes and stuff. If the one we just showed, if I'm a shower curtain manufacturer, and I'm like, man, what would step up my game is if I could get some sweet ass matching shower curtain rings for my shower curtains. You know what I'm saying? So like the stuff that you have on your website, man, like I said earlier, it's very expansive, and it's useful and touches a lot of different people. And I think it's great that you found a way to bring this all together. I want to end this with asking this. Can you elaborate on like what were some of the supply chain problems that you were having that gave you this idea? You said you were having issues, but can you be exact on some of those?
Yep. So I think the first thing you have to kind of think about is, for the past, until like 2-3 years ago, we lived in like effectively a China-centric supply chain world where everything came from China. And with that, there was a lot of kind of assumptions that we built into things that we didn't really realize. Like, it's really easy to send money to China. Like, China has, pretty decent manufacturing competencies in a lot of different areas, right? But as that's started to change a little bit. One, because the U.S. has gotten a little more adversarial with China, I think for very good reason. But also a lot of other countries have gotten a lot more competitive. And so now when you start to make supply chain decisions, it's not just where is the manufacturer in China, but it's like questions like, do you use Vietnam or China? Do you use Mexico or China? Do you do it in the USA? Do you do it in, Africa or wherever, right? And as you start to walk into these more complex problems, it becomes not only harder to even find the manufacturers, but there's all these hairy issues that China abstracted from our mind. Like, it's like we have a lot of suppliers in Pakistan, and I'm a huge proponent of Pakistan. But one of the things that's hard there is actually getting money to them at like affordable rates is not easy, And so, as we really struggle with like how you design these more like hardcore questions. I want to import shower curtains. Should those shower curtains be in China? Should they be in, Pakistan? Should they be in South America? Can you make them in the US? How do those costs differ? And ImportYeti helped us with a lot of those like earlier steps in kind of the decision-making process. And I think that it's going to get more and more kind of like, that's going to become the norm going forward, especially as we decouple from China. And so it's like kind of all have to embrace the pain and like learn how to handle some of these more, tricky issues. But, I think it's gonna be for the better of the nation and better for, the world as a whole.
Yeah,
I agree. And I like that you brought up, that we're, the thing about the adversarial things that we're having with, China right now. And also that, talking about that there are so many other countries that, can do the things that, we just think only China can do for us. There's so many other economies that could utilize the money that we're dishing out to other countries and stuff that aren't treating us so well or doing us so well, or just have a better supply chain. I'm not a big Dre guy, but since I've known Hunter, like Hunter's told me and taught me so much about Dre, and I'll go into this as an example that I'm shipping stuff out of China. Well, a majority of people, they obviously ship stuff out of, Hong Kong and some of the other large port cities. And sometimes when those things get congested or there's a lot more orders going on, or like earlier this year when we had the Chinese New Year, they take time off. And so then you got a several week backlog of stuff. Well, maybe there's someone in Vietnam or Thailand or Taiwan or Pakistan, as you said, or Mexico, that can give me the same product at the same price, or very close to it, but I don't have those long waits for transit time or manufacturing time and stuff like that. And tools like that are great because I know that there's a lot of people out there like me, man, or just that are older. They've been using the same people and going about things the same way for so long, and they don't know how to branch out and find the type of information that they need. And so, this right here, it fills a gap and it serves a purpose that I don't think, some people realize that they need, man,
Yeah. We've had a lot of people using it too in the US, because what they'll do is they'll say like, hey, let's say I run a manufacturing shop and I make some sort of chemical, right? And they're currently competing with China every day. And what they're able to do is they're able to go on ImportYeti, say who's moving stuff from what factory. Then they can find these customers and call them up and be like, hey, we know you're importing from China. We know these are the prices you're paying. Like our factory can, make them locally. They're going to be, we'll say 10 cents more a gallon or whatever the price is, but your turnaround times are in 20 days. We can give you terms, you get it, put made in America on your product and just do a lot of, kind of really create a strong selling proposition. We've had some killer success with that too. The world's getting so much more complex these days, and we need everyone kind of thinking how we make these supply chains and logistics routes more robust.
Yeah. And to your point as well, going outside of China, I mean, you're seeing the infrastructure like really boom. You look at the Port of Savannah, like the work they're doing. Houston taking on that workload. When all the shit hit the fan, when you had upwards of 50, 60 vessels anchored outside of Long Beach, and then Oakland was taking on a little bit of that load, and they started getting overworked. And it is exciting. Like some of the stuff that I have imported that you would think come from China, like one of the most random things is bamboo baby wipes from Israel.
Yeah.
And it's going to Memphis. Like it's nuts, but like it makes sense. They're just talking about packaging and just the little intricacies that go into the supply chain as a whole. And I think it expanding and it not just being okay. The U.S. and China is just going to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. And you're right, it's getting more robust. Like Savannah's such a great story, but like my local port's Long Beach, which is always fucked.
Oh yeah, that's where I got my start at, the belly of the beast.
Yeah. It's just like, there's running jokes in the office, like how delayed is it? There's never like, is it on time? What degree of delay are we going to be dealing with this moment in time? And you see that, but like it's making other ports get up their game, and we need it. Our infrastructure, needs the help.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out with this event with Baltimore, because they're talking about that port being shut down for almost a year, I think.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
One of my customers, actually, the one that I spoke about earlier, that I know where she brings all her shit from and goes into, Baltimore is where she brings a lot of her stuff into.
Yeah,
because like once it comes
she's
to Baltimore,
she's gonna be going to Wilmington now.
Dude, it gets like she gets stuff into Baltimore, and she has a someone that helps refine her stuff in Baltimore, and then she has another company in Ohio that they do the final product for her as well. So Baltimore is the closest and cheapest port for her. And her and I were talking today, and she was like, "What do you think is going to happen? What, I don't even know where I'm going to go and what to do." And I was like, "Well, I can tell you right now, like, I don't think no boat's going to be coming in and out of that motherfucker for a while." I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, but you better figure something out. I'm glad you said Wilmington. Hunter,
yeah, it's so close. It's so close. I've talked to customers into rerouting into Wilmington.
I'm gonna do it right now, live on the show.
I was just going to say, if not to plug ImportYeti, but a killer search to do right now if you're trying to sell stuff is find everybody that's typically moving things into the port of Baltimore and give those dudes a call and say, "Hey, bud, I can help you with this problem."
Yeah. Well, that will be I don't know. I mean, it's a hell of a time to be launching the export stuff because, Baltimore is not even in the top 10 of the imports. But when it comes to the automotive industry, they have the largest roll-on, roll-off facility in the U.S. So who's going to take that over? So I think, it's a tragedy. It's terrible to see that happen, but looking on the bright side of the road, I think, some of these people will start getting kicked into gear. Maybe Elizabeth will start getting some more freight, because I don't know, man. There are so many carriers up there. One of our buddies, Rich, he's pushing for unionization of the entire drayage industry up there, just because it's terrible, man. It's terrible. But what's up, Sage? But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So, Dave, with you in the supply chain, with obviously you have Wrestling Mart, you have Import Yeti. Are you doing anything outside of that?
I mean, that's kind of the main two gigs. It's the amount of work it takes to even do that is like bananas. I work 75 hours a week or something crazy like that. And it's just eats your soul a little bit. What's that?
I said, that's it.
Yeah.
I work 76 hours a week.
You guys in the logistics industry, because I speak with you guys all the time, I am regularly floored at how much you guys work and the on-demand email/phone calls you have to deal with. It blows my mind. The one blessing I get is when I clock out for the day, generally speaking, there's not going to be any fires until I come back the next morning, But that's the majority of it, is just kind of grinding. You're trying to make things 1% better a day. We're bootstrapped with no investors and cash flow positive, which is a blessing to be in. But yeah, just kind of trying to keep the hustle going. We'll see what happens after this, but I still have a few more years on this at least.
Hey, you need to turn what you just said into like some swag for your Wrestling Mart. Trying to make things 1% better a day, dude.
Yeah, we got the champions hustle. Sure,
that is so. I
like that.
I heard that. I was like, dude, that is gold. Like everyone's always talking about improvement, and it's like 1%. Like you got to think over the course of some time.
What you need to do is make some leather vest and put a patch that says 1% on it. It'd be sick.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. If you don't know what he means, don't do that.
I don't. I'm not. I'm not going to leave that one to you guys.
The motorcycle clubs, man, the 1%ers.
Yeah, it's a biker thing, man, and
you will get roughed up.
Yeah, it's not a good thing outside of that type of community. But I like that though, man. The trying to improve things 1% a day. Holy shit! Look at that Yeti coffee mug. I don't think I've seen you drink out of that. That's pretty sick, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been drinking out the whole time, but yeah. So, we found the supplier on Import Yeti.
I love that.
What does one need to do to get an Import Yeti coffee
cup? Yeah. You guys send me an email. Let me tell you, ship them out free. So if I get 80 of these things, we'll have to reevaluate that. But I'll be able to take care of you guys.
No, because nobody knows your email. We know your email as long as you don't give out.
Yeah,
you
are
email.
a secretive guy. Like I just stumbled upon you out of the blue, and I was like, got him.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if I'd say secretive. I plaster my email address all over that damn website.
Yeah, but nobody knows. Nobody knows who Dave is. It's just the Yeti.
Yeah, that is well said. That is well said. We joke around that there's this designer called Kerwin Frost, right? And he makes some funky clothes, and one of which is like a Yeti costume. And it's like everybody's identifying as different things these days, but I'm slowly beginning to identify as a Yeti. I've got these like Yeti shoes. I've got Yeti slippers. It's like it's growing.
I bet your wife absolutely loves you with that.
Oh, I drive her crazy. I drive her crazy. She like her eyes would just be like, oh God, like yeah, she's gonna have a mental institution if I keep going at this rate.
She's like, of all the species that you could pick to represent you, get the damn Yeti.
Yeah. And like one of her biggest gripes about me is that I wear nothing but Wrestling Mart clothes, and they're designed for high school kids, so I still effectively dress like I'm 15 years old. Oh my God. And so now it's going to change from like the high school dressing to like a legitimate furry animal, and she's just I give up.
Got the slides with the Nike socks on.
Generous. Typically it's sandals.
Yeah, it's the comfiest clothing out there, though, man. I like the Wrestling season, we get the new swag. Oh, dude, you could not catch me outside of that sweats all day long.
Yeah. I feel it. Cutting weight,
Ugh.
Dude, hey, hey, Corey, go fucking AI that for us. I want you to
A Yeti lizard.
Yes, I want you to AI Yeti lizard. Let's see what comes of that. Dude, Corey makes some crazy fucking AI stuff. A few times I've seen him do it. You need to do that. Yeti lizard. Hunter, I don't know. Go ahead.
That AI just blows my mind these days. It's so freaking crazy. We use it all the time at ImportYeti, and it's like it writes our emails for us sometimes. It's just, I'm a technophile in the sense I'm like, the more tech, the better. But sometimes, man, it scares me.
It is scary. I just paid for ChatGPT today, and I was telling Rob about it. I was like, dude, you can do anything on that website.
Yeah.
Like, it's just speaking the language of it, though. You'll type in something to like generate an image, and it's like, well, that's nice, but what if we put it in this wording? It's like,
Yeah.
all right. It's gonna make me smarter.
Yeah. Yes, I did watch Nationals. In fact, half my family was there. With all of our emails now, we have ChatGPT draft them, and it's shocking how much it gets it right. Like probably 80% of the emails we don't write anymore. It's just like it drafts it, we press send.
So when I was getting those replies from you, they're talking about how amazing I was, and you were so happy that I signed up for your platform. Like, man, damn, Dave, I thought that was you being extremely personable.
If a human looked at it, but yeah.
You didn't say any of that. I don't know if it was you writing them, but it was me and whoever.
How much AI I'm using that I can't even trust my own words. Maybe it was me,
It was just us going back and forth, and you had said, "Sign up with this email." Like, the fuck are you talking about? I did sign up with this email. And then you replied, "Oh yeah, duh." Like,
That's funny. We have, we have a Nicolas Cage. Sorry, wrong podcast. But we have if our sign up email has won awards, it talks about it. I highly recommend signing up for ImportYeti just to see that first email. We won 2 or 3 email marketing awards for it.
That's good shit. Dale, hey, I just want to say, watch the lounge page tomorrow morning, man. We're posting something that has to do with you that Hunter and I were honored enough to be a part of. When you see it, you'll understand what I mean.
Oh yeah, Dale. Also, we're gonna have to get you back on the show with our buddy Daniel Coors for CDLU.
Yeah, before we forget. Sorry, Dave. We're both ADD. So like when shit comes up and we're like, oh yeah, we forgot about that. We have to just immediately put it out. I don't know if you said this in the beginning. I don't know if Hunter asked you or, like I said, if you had said it, but why ImportYeti? Like, why specifically the Yeti?
Yeah. I mean, you want the honest answer or the censored one?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. This is kind of really embarrassing. Like, I'll be the first to admit, like, really embarrassing. When we were first doing product development, people were like, hey, I used to use this platform called Import Something or Competitor Spy Something, right? And they just were confusing all the names. So immediately we're like, hey, we have to choose something that's a little more iconic that people will be like, hey, this is going to stick in my mind. And we're trying to do the typical naming. Like, it has to be domain name has to be available, has to be easy to spell, has to be, blankety blankety blank, right? And long story short, it comes down to 2 things. The first one was ImportYeti, and then for whatever reason, and I have no idea why this ended up on the list, why anybody thought this was a good idea, it was Import Pimp. So ImportYeti and Import Pimp, right? And and they're choosing Import Pimp like it's winning by a long shot, which is like the worst business name anybody could ever think of. And then it was like, when I was getting ready to choose it, somebody said something beautifully, which is they're like, hey, I am never in my life putting on my corporate credit card Import Pimp. And I was like, super valid.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
That is great.
I still say, I'm like, how did anybody ever even like put this on the list?
What?
So.
But see, hey, the funnier thing about that is, what does that say about your workforce?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But they're like, this is the right name for an application. You know, pimping ain't easy, amen.
It's funny. It's funny that they that was one of them, because one of mine, I think it may still be my tagline on Instagram, but for a while, when my tagline on social media was logistics_pimp. And so, like you said, that's why I started cracking up. But I changed it. I was like, pimp is not a good connotation.
Yeah, really, honestly, like a horrible profession that like is nothing like the worst, but we all think it's funny these days.
I know, right? So. That's so funny. That's so funny, dude. That's
so
here's good shit. That is
here's the Yeti lizard. Dave, do you know the significance of lizard?
I mean, I know what a lot lizard is, if that's what you're asking.
Well, now you've been on our show.
Yeah.
Been through the ringer. Now you're an official lounge lizard.
I'm not so sure how I feel about that title considering the context of the other one, but
it's too late. I'm sorry to tell you, but
who am I to judge though? I mean, like, I was going to name my site Import Pimp, and I'm complaining about being the lounge.
The URL's still open, man. I might still go and grab that, dude. That's a sick domain name. Oh, Import Pimp.
Yeah. Sure it is. I mean,
lounge lizard is a term of endearment. Trust us. It is a great thing. It is an honor to be considered and called a lounge lizard. It is awesome, dude. As a matter of fact, Hunter, when we went to Matt's, I want to tell this story because this cracks me the fuck up. So Hunter, when I flew into Nashville, we went to one of his buddies' houses so he could pick up. He was going to get a tracksuit and do like the Armenian double broker, but his buddy couldn't find all the rest of his Adidas tracksuit. But he told Hunter, he said, dude, I have this lizard tracksuit that's really cool. Hunter was like, fuck yeah, that's what I want. Lounge lizard. I want to do the lizard. So Hunter, I think it was day 2 of Matt. So Friday, Hunter puts on this lounge or this lizard jacket, and he's walking around Matt's, and like, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to him, dude, man. Like, it was just really hot in that fucking place. There it is right there. There it is right there. Long story short is like, I don't know, about halfway through the day, we were going over to Alex with Mother Trucker's booth, and he wasn't there. And then we were going to go outside and vape and shit. Hunter goes, dude, yeah, I've got to go outside. He's like, I'm fucking burning up in this thing. And we go outside, and Hunter pulls off this
walking
jacket.
sauna,
He
dude.
felt like a fucking hoodie and a long sleeve shirt underneath. I was like, well, no fucking wonder you're burning up. He got like 8 layers of clothing on underneath this thing. But he suffered. He suffered for the betterment of the lounge, man. That's the point of it. He suffered for the betterment of the lounge.
I will say, wearing the lizard shirt in the show truck lot, I got some weird looks. It wasn't as receptive as I thought it'd be. It was a good time.
Hunter got a couple propositions when he took the jacket off. All these pieces of papers with phone numbers kept falling out.
Oh yeah, it was a shit show.
I love that lizard down.
So speaking of which, Dave, do you go to any conventions or shows or?
I mean, not really. I've been toying around. I've done stuff like that in the past, but I've been toying around, kind of getting back on the, we'll say the circuit, so to speak. But man, that travel just takes it out of you. Like you go to a few of those things, and you get no work done. It's just party.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not related about that, but
1,000% professional. We're all in bed.
5 p.m.
No. When we all travel, we do what we call the Rob Carpenter. We eat dinner at 3:30, and we're in bed by 8 o'clock every single night. Don't listen to all those lies, Dave. There's no going on, man.
Yeah. I believe it. It's just like that, Import Pimp would be a good name for a business. Yeah.
Import Pimp would be. I mean, if you, Hunter, lock that fucking domain down right now because someone's going to see this and they're going to try to take it. We're going to sell it. Hunter's going to sell that shit for like
Import Yeti competitor. Yeah.
Import Pimp. That shit is so good, dude. That is so fucking awesome right there, man.
That would be a good shirt though for Import Yeti, just Import Pimp.
Yeah.
I should, just to kick it old school, and have like the original, like name. You can make the Yeti the pimp, then it's a little bit more.
Pimp Yeti.
Chain. And,
bro,
you're there.
Hunter, chat GPT right now, Yeti Pimp. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what we get. Dude, that would, if you print that shirt, you only have to print 2 of them, one for me and one for Hunter. That's all you're going to need to do. I will take a Yeti Pimp t-shirt. Yes, sir. Please.
I'll send them over. I have a DTG printer, so I can do the one-offs.
Dude, that's awesome. I was going to ask you earlier. I was looking at the wrestling site or whatever, and I was like, man, I was like, I wonder if he, or I was like, I assume he customizes all of this stuff depending on what you order and stuff, dude. That's
some heat transfer. It just kind of depends on the situation. The clothing game is just, man, it's tough.
Do you have a storefront? I mean, you ain't got to give the address, but do you have a storefront, Dave?
Yeah. We're the world's largest specialty wrestling store in terms of storefront.
Yeah, Wrestling Mart. I was checking it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I heard you say the world's largest, but that that could just mean online the world's largest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you're ever in Los Angeles, you're ever looking for wrestling stuff, I mean, this is the place to go.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge. It's right there. I'm sitting in it right now.
Really? How big is it?
4,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet. There we go.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is it.
I need it adjusted though, so it's like a cheetah print hat.
Yeah. I don't know. That fusion is pretty on par,
Dude, Yeti.
I like that. You'll just send that over to me.
It'll cost you $1. All right, we're working on this.
ChatGPT just blows my mind.
It's nuts, dude. And I love how you can push it. It's like, no, make it better. Make it more.
Yeah, this isn't good enough. Keep working. When they talk about our robot overlords that are going to take us over one day, it's going to be this they remember. When it's just like,
there it is right there. Yeah. Oh, either one of those. Oh, no, dude.
Yeah, Cadillac in the background, and we're there.
Hey, Hunter, pull yours down so I can show Corey's. Corey's is pretty sick.
Oh shit, I'm frozen.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Dude, we're going to print this shirt, dude. This is too good not to have the world to be able to have this stuff right here, man. There you go. Our boy Adams in Bakersfield, man.
Yeah, Bakersfield High School's got a killer wrestling program.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, that's it. We get people coming down to Bakersfield all the time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I've never been interested. My son, he wanted to get into it, but we don't really have any good wrestling programs around here.
This shit ain't for the faint of heart. I can tell you that much.
I live in Texas, bro. Like, football is king, man. Contact sports down here. I know wrestling is a contact sport, but things like
they don't push it after season though. I feel like all the football coaches are like, after football, you go into wrestling.
Yeah, dude, for your footwork, man, cut some weight, get that footwork up.
I'm sure we have wrestling leagues and stuff, but I mean, dude, again, I'm in Texas, man. All the money goes towards football and baseball programs. You know what I mean? Like that's where everything goes to.
Was it that way with you, Hunter? You football, and they just said go straight into wrestling?
Yeah, so I played football since I was like 5, and then I got to high school, and they were just like, hey, do you want to wrestle? And I was like, well, I don't have shit going on in the wintertime. So started doing that. Best shape I've ever been in my entire life. Like 3-hour workouts in the morning, then you work out in the middle of the day, and then you go to practice for another 3-4 hours. and then Saturday practice if you're lucky. But yeah, so I did that for a little while, and I mean, but dude, it keeps you in shape, man. Like it's flexibility, especially in football, like it helped me out so much. My footwork was crazy, crazy. It was awesome. But it slows you down, though, man. It slows you down, especially playing defensive line. I had a buddy, old Joe Hinchman. He would like suplex kids. He got ejected from one game, but yeah, it's good times. It's good times. But well, Pedro, do you have any more questions for Dave here?
I don't, man. I mean, I only have those few questions. I had more comments. All I can say is, Dave, like, I mean, really cool stuff, man. I mean, seriously, I never would have thought that, of something like that. And, even though, people may just see it at face value for what your intention was, I mean, obviously, as we talk tonight, or today on the show, there's tons of more uses and value that you can get out of what you're doing, and the fact that you're continuing to improve it. And like Hunter told me, he's like, Rob, he's like, dude, he'll let you get on there for free. All he wants you to do is just, if you see something you don't like, give him feedback. And I think that's great, man. That, a lot of websites and stuff, they just want to do what they want to do. And I really feel that, your users and the information they can provide to you are important. So just amazing tool, man, amazing platform. And honestly, some of the things we talked about on here tonight, I didn't think about when it comes to relating it to your platform and stuff, man. So, freaking applause, brother. I mean, 1000%, man.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. If you guys need anything, always feel free to give me a holler. If anybody uses the platform, has any questions or feedback, please let me know. Happy to help any way I can.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you skate, what is the future of Import Yeti for you? I know you have the exports coming on, and where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on ImportYeti.com. You can just click this contact us page. The Yeti is me. I mean, in terms of the future, I mean, this sounds kind of like boring, but we're just really trying to add more and more data layers and make it easier and easier to understand. Import Yeti is on X. It's at Import Yeti. We just kind of show updates, but personal contact's kind of the way we try to roll. So anybody that messaged me on directly, we'll go ahead and respond to you in 24 hours or so. And yeah, that's my preferred method. Love social media to death, but man, that stuff sucks your time.
Yeah, no joke. Well, Dave, appreciate you having you on, man. And yeah, hopefully we can get you back on here soon. Maybe when some of these bigger updates roll out. And
sounds good.
Sounds good, brother.
Dave,
it's been a pleasure. Cheers, y'all.
Before we let you go, though, brother, let you go, do you have any closing comments, any plugs you want to give for Yeti or your other businesses? Anything that you want to say before you exit?
I mean, just to hit it one more time, if you want to go to Import Yeti, use it. It's free. Give us any feedback. The more, the better. The more tiny little, I hate the way this button is. This fucking button drives me crazy. I want to be here. The more nuance, the better. That's what makes our platform great. And, we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for people like yourself.
Sweet. I am now going to go troll over all your buttons and be like, I need this shit rectangle, not square. Yeah. Awesome. Dave, you're absolutely amazing. Hunter, also, man, I want to thank you for bringing Dave up, man, and telling me about him and Dave, you being here and, telling all of our audience what you do, brother. It's really cool platform you got going on, as we've said. Yeah. Just so you know, Brian and Steve, they do drayage stuff, man, coincidentally. So, there you go, dude, right here on the show, you got to touch some people that directly do, want to use your platform for what your intention on it was and stuff, man. So, they'll be able to, I'm sure, find business and be able to gain some stuff off there, man.
It's pretty pimp, for lack of a word.
Yeah, the pimp Yeti. That's true. We're gonna make some kind of swag with that, dude. And with you,
we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. It's gonna be your bestseller, buddy.
I look forward to it. Merch line.
Yeah, that's right, man. All right, Dave. You can hang around, man, if you want to, brother. Hunter and I are probably just going to chill for 10 or 15 minutes and then chop out. So if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome to, man. So
Cool. I will. Okay.
fucking
Cheers.
later, brother.
Dave. Appreciate it, brother. Alrighty. Well, how fucking awesome is that, dude? I'm so glad he fucking came on, man. That's what I was saying, dude. Like, more people need to know about products like this, platforms like this. It's such a benefit, and I mean, for it to be free, I don't know how that works, but like, dude, fuck Zoom Info. Learn about the supply chain. The customers that you're talking to, prospects that you're talking to, anybody you're talking to, like, it's such a benefit.
I'm with you, dude. Sorry, bro. My phone's been blown this whole time. These damn spam callers. I am so in line with what you're saying, dude. I had no idea about ImportYeti. Yeah, it is, isn't it, Adam? I didn't either, man, until Hunter brought it up, and it is. It has a shit ton of information, regardless of what your part is in the industry. I mean, just like freaking, Steve and Brian, the fact that they do drayage and stuff, man, being able to see, what's coming in and what's going where, you know what I mean? And what the end user is, I don't know how it really works on the dray side. If y'all do direct customer stuff, Hunter, I don't know how that really works, but I mean, those opportunities there, or for, folks like Steve and Brian to, look, he did the same thing that Dean did. He did the same thing that Dean did. Pop back on the show. Look, there he is. There he is. Sorry, bro. I didn't know you were coming back.
I didn't know it was coming back either.
Our guest Dean Croak did the same thing last night. But as I was saying, people like Steven, man, who do that drayage stuff. If they're able to get hooked up, do their direct customer style on there, or hey, he's operating out of a certain area, and he's like, hey, this other port that is small that not a lot of people know about is getting a shit ton of dray coming into it. Let me be able to expand my operation as brokers, being able to use that as a tool, like David said, showing that you actually researched to know about their company. It's so much more than what you see at face value. And I think that, that obviously adds a shit ton of value, and that is also one of the things I think is great about any tool, whether it be, a tool you use to work on your car or a tool like a platform, is when you think of an idea and invent an idea, and you invent it for a singular purpose, or maybe two things. And then once you roll it out, people are like, holy shit, man, not only do I use your wrench to take off my oil filter, but, I also use it to do plumbing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, it's always great when you're able to put something out that you just needed and other people find additional value in it. And so, yeah, man, really cool stuff. I like it. What did he say? I'm trying to think. Oh, he's back there. I was trying to see what the hell the emoji you put was, Brian. Like on the screen, it looks like a wave, like a whale. I was like,
a little whale.
With fucking Dave, man.
Yeah, Import Whale could have been the name too. You never know.
Import Whale. Yeah. No, dude. ImportYeti is gold, bro.
Import Lizard.
No, Import Yeti. I don't know what, dude. Like, I never would have thought about it, but as you say it, it sounds so natural. You know what I mean?
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. What a fucking Yeti has to do with importing stuff? I don't know, but it just sounds good. It rolls off your tongue. I have no idea who that is. Lizard Path. Let's fucking go. We got to find out who Lizard Path is. That's a good one right there, man.
Okay, well, I think I'm going for real this time, guys. I'm not quite sure when I hop back in. We'll see if it happens again.
Get out of here, man.
That's so funny. He did the same shit that Dean did last night. I don't know what they do. I don't know. Maybe it sends him a notification or some shit after they log out. I don't know how it works.
Well, they might be like trying to watch it after we get, after they get off and they click the
same
link.
I don't know. It goes back in. Man, maybe that's
the world may never know.
The world may never know. That's fucking true, dude.
All right. Well, you got any closing comments here, Roberto Potato?
No, bro.
Pedro Potato from Laredo.
Pedro Potato from Laredo. I like that shit, bro. That's so fucking funny, man. Oh, that's good stuff. I don't, man. I don't. We're yeah, I've got nothing to follow up with, man. I'm saving all the good shit for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just gonna close out here with you, and then like I get out here and just start chomping out some fucking comment. Lizard Path is the tool with multiple uses. We're gonna go
That's
look.
right.
We're gonna go look this motherfucker. Do you know who this is?
No, don't do it. Don't do it right now.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm not.
We're trying to get off of here, man.
You tell my biggest little fan that I said, "What's up, Steve?" Hey, and hey, how's that new shirt fit, man? Does it fit better, brother? Let me know. You can put it here. You can just DM me, man. Like, I don't know why that matters to me so much, but I felt so bad that I sent him that first one and it was too big. So you gotta let me know. Adam, I would put that up there, but I have no idea what you mean. If I what? Fits great. You're the fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome, dude. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy.
That is good.
I feel like I failed my biggest fan, bro, when we sent that shit. I was like, oh no, like, you know, some dude.
It's okay. But,
all right. What about you, Hunter? Do you have any closing comments before we do this lovely sponsor break and then get out this mofo?
Thanks everybody for watching. Tomorrow we have Grace Sharkey on from Freight Waves. Should be a good time. Anybody that wants to hop on, as always, it's a Freestyle Friday. We're gonna do a little match recap, shoot the shit, have a grand old time. Yeah, that's about it. Check out Import Yeti. Could have been Import Pimp, but Import Yeti works just as fine. So,
bro, that Import Pimp shit is good. Like, but I get it, man. Like,
yeah, it's not. That probably would not have taken off. We would have never heard of it.
Not everybody has the fucking sense. Fucking Corey. You know, Corey, even though I'm gonna make their video, I'm gonna find a way to implement that little Easter egg just for you, bro. You just wait.
Oh no, we already got a plan. I talked to Corey about it yesterday.
Oh, did you? Okay, all right. Well, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know about that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in the Logistics Lounge. As Hunter said, we'll be back tomorrow with Miss Grace Sharkey. We met her at Matt's. Absolutely phenomenal personality. Can't wait to have her on the show. And with that, we are going to roll into this final sponsor break, and we will bid y'all adieu. Shoreline Capital, they've been here long enough. You sure as hell should know what they do. And it is always a sure thing with Shoreline. All righty, Spidey. Hunter, did you think of any additional comments that you want to say that you didn't say before we leave?
If enough people sign up for Shoreline, we will pay for a trip for Corey to fly out to where Clint lives with Shoreline so they can hold hands. And that's it.
Dude, that would be one of the most spectacular.
And that will be the commercial. Just
bro,
35 minutes of Corey and Clint holding hands, staring into each other's eyes.
That would be the greatest fucking commercial ever right there. All righty. We hope y'all join us tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. I'm not going to say what other time zones because you should just be able to figure it out with that. We're going to chop out this piece. As I always say, chunk them deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.